How's it going, everybody? I'm the BTC Reaper. My goal on this channel is to teach you how to reap the rewards of trading when the price is going up or down. US government remains a top Bitcoin holder with seized stash valued at $5.6 billion. As of March 25th, 2023, the US government held 205,515 Bitcoins worth $5.6 billion, which is approximately 1.06% of the circulating supply, according to current statistics. The Bitcoins were confiscated in 3 cases, including Silk Road in 2020, 2020 Bitfinex hack, and the seizure of Bitcoin from James Zong last year. According to a report from Glassnode, approximately 40,000 Bitcoins is from the law enforcement is currently in circulation and on the move. Glassnode reported the majority appear to be internal transfers so far. Around 9,861 Bitcoin seized from Silk Road hacker have been sent to Coinbase. The US government seized 205,515 Bitcoin constitutes a considerable stash compared to that of other large holders. Although smaller than Grayscale's cache of 643,572, it surpasses MicroStrategy's stash of 132,500 Bitcoin. Furthermore, compared to whales and Bitcoin-rich list addresses, it is the second largest, falling behind Binance's Bitcoin Cold Wallet, which holds 248,597 Bitcoin. Coinbase Chief Legal Officer says SEC whales notice a massive overreach on part of regulator. Coinbase's Chief Legal Officer Paul Grewal says that the whales notice served by the US SEC to the crypto exchange is a sign that the regulator is hostile toward the industry as a whole. Coinbase said that the action takes aim at a number of listed crypto assets as well as its stake in service Coinbase Earn, its institutional platform Coinbase Prime, and Coinbase Wallet. I think it's important to understand that this is not just a shot at Coinbase, this is a shot at the crypto as a whole. And so we will certainly do our part to defend against what we think a massive overreach on part of the commission. I don't know why they didn't get that message when XRP was still listed on their exchange. They should have jumped in the fight then and helped back then. NFT trader accidentally burns 129k CryptoPunk. An NFT trader was devastated Friday to discover that a CryptoPunk he purchased for 77 Ethereum went up in smoke after he accidentally set the pricey piece of digital art to a burn address. Burn addresses, which are digital wallets that don't have a private key, are one-way gateways that can only receive assets like cryptocurrencies and NFTs, so anything that's sent there is permanently lost and can't be recovered. Brandon Riley, who purchased CryptoPunk number 685 2 weeks ago, said he made an error when attempting to wrap the NFT to take a loan against it on Twitter. He told Decrypt he planned on posting CryptoPunk number 685 to NFTFi.com, where he could earn a yield of about 7% per year. I would just like to make one thing clear. I was not wrapping this punk to sell on Blur. It was to be my forever punk, the same as exact reverse of my ape. I was only wrapping it because I needed to borrow some liquidity from it. So he was just trying to have these locked somewhere he could make some money off them while he holds them, and he accidentally set them to a burn wallet, so that's why it's important to make sure that you're making sure that the wallet exactly matches every digit. One digit off can just be a burn wallet. So onto the charts. We have more of a descending wedge that's forming on our lower time frame, but we'll look at our higher time frame and get into that. We do have a possible bullish signal here, and that would be in confluence with the lower time frame. We have a big bearish candle, followed by a doji candle, followed by what's setting up to be a bigger candle here. If we continue upwards and manage to break this resistance area, then that confirm this pattern. That'd be likely after we break from the wedge. So our stochastic is still falling, RSI is still trending down, but it's curling up. Momentum's coming down, but it looks like it could start to curl up. Our money flow is coming back up, and our VWAP's trying to come back up as well. Over on the 4 hour, you can see the wedge a little better. It's most visible on the 1 and 2 hour. Our stochastic's heading up very strongly. RSI is making a decent recovery here. Money flow is staying pretty well. We're kind of flat right now. VWAP staying well in the bullish zone as well. Our momentum wave is heading up, but it looks like we could kind of curl here. So if our VWAP starts to come down and our momentum gets a red dot, we could have some bearish downside. But that'd be alright because that could just be within this pattern. If we look at the 2 hour, our stochastic's trying to make a bullish cross. If that does happen, we break pretty early, and that set us up to get halfway in between both these resistance areas. So a premature breakout would set us about 29k, where if we just break out normally, that'd be about 28.5. So nothing too exciting if we keep falling. Momentum is trying to get a green dot. Money flow is coming up the last few candles. VWAP is trying to come up after breaking bearish and not really going too deep into the bearish territory, so that's a positive sign. And our RSI is pointing up. Over at the 1 hour, our stochastic's heading up, but it's pointing kind of sideways, so it could take a breather. Stochastic's very weak, but it's trying to make a recovery. Our momentum's making lower highs, and kind of trying to curl here. VWAP is somewhat rounding off right here, but our money flow is ramping up pretty nicely. So overall on the lower time frame, money flow is bullish on the 1 hour. I wait to see that confirm on the 2. Well, the 2 hour is bullish, so we maintain that. The 4 hour we maintain bullishness, so the 1 hour was the only time frame that managed to break. But I'd be a little leery of it if we kind of flop over. As you can see, it didn't really take much of a break for us to kind of take that initial dip. Over on graph, if we look at the daily, we're below our support, but we're within our triangle that we have. Stochastic's heading down. RSI is kind of similar to Bitcoin. Momentum's heading down. Money flow's trying to curl up and head upwards, so that's a positive sign that we could have a recovery. Momentum, our VWAP's trying to head up as well. So overall, we look pretty decent for a continued move upwards, but it looks like we could get some more downside before that, but that'd be within this pattern. Stochastic's running up on the 4 hour. RSI is pointing upwards, so we're pretty bullish there. Our money flow didn't break bullish. We are trying to break bullish again. So watch if that does manage to happen. Another rejection could set us up for some pretty bad downside. VWAP is pretty weak, but is trying to make a move upwards. Momentum's trying to make a move up, but it could kind of curl out here. So just be cautionary of that. Over on the 2 hour, stochastic's making a bullish cross heading up, so that's giving our RSI more strength to head back up. Momentum's heading up. Our money flow's not bullish yet. It's trying to break bullish. So again, watch the next few hours. Kind of like last night, we didn't break bullish. We got rejected. We'll have to see if we can manage to get that tonight. VWAP is heading up, so that is a positive sign. So overall, we have some positive signs of some momentum upwards. Over on the 1 hour, we have a green dot forming, so that signals that we could get some bullish momentum. We have lower highs on our momentum wave, so that's a little concerning though, because if we run up, then we'll have a bearish divergence that could bring us right back down. Stochastic's kind of heading up, but RSI is kind of curling away. Money flow wants to break bullish. So the 1 hour has some signals we could run up, but if we run up, it'll give us some signals we could fall back down. So I wouldn't be too optimistic about that run up. Over on Anchor for the daily, we did reject that value area low so far. We retested and came back down. Stochastic's heading down, RSI's heading down, momentum's coming down, RSI and VWAP are coming down. So overall, we're looking pretty bearish on the daily for Anchor, kind of counter to Graph and Bitcoin that are looking a little more bullish. The 4 hour money flow is trying to make a bullish cross. We didn't get that last night, so again, we'll have to see if we can get that tonight. Stochastic's heading up, RSI is trying to head up, our momentum's kind of rejecting here and heading down, so that's not looking too good, as we'll need that momentum wave to head up and that money flow to continue moving up. Otherwise, we could fall. That VWAP barely broke bearish, So the 4 hours looking kind of indecisive, like we could start to fall. This is kind of a rounding top as well. Over on the 2 hour, we could get a bullish cross here that could bring us up, and our RSI is heading up. So we could get some upside here. Money flow is trying to come up, but it's kind of coming out overall. VWAP's heading up, momentum's trying to head up, so we're trying to make some recoveries on our medium-term signals. So that is a positive sign. Our RSI is trying to curl up. So overall, the 2 hour, we are looking kind of bullish here. The 1 hour money flow came back into the bullish zone, so 1 hour is reclaimed bullish territory. Momentum's trying to head up, stochastic's trying to head up. Our RSI is somewhat flat after heading up, kind of taking a breather. But that's alright if our stochastic keeps moving up and money flow keeps coming in, as well as that VWAP. So 1 hour, we do have some signs that we could get some bit of a pump, so that is positive. Over on XRP, our money flow is in the bearish zone on the daily. Stochastic's falling, RSI is pretty weak and falling, momentum's falling, and our VWAP's pretty flat. So overall on the daily, we're not looking too strong, even though we got 2 green candles in a row here. Over on the 4 hour, our stochastic's heading down, RSI is slightly starting to inch out, our momentum's curling down, money flow is trying to head up, and our VWAP's kind of flat in this bearish zone. So overall, I'd say we're pretty bearish on the 4 hour, but we're trying to get some signals to push us up. Over on the 2 hour, our stochastic's trying to curl up, RSI is pointing upwards, so we're trying to make a bounce here. Money flow is trying to bounce off the neutral zone, and our VWAP's trying to recover. Our momentum's kind of bearish right now. It's probably slightly in this bearish zone, so that's probably going to try and curl up as well. If we look at the 1 hour, we have that green dot here as well. Stochastic's heading up, RSI is kind of flat, VWAP's heading up pretty strongly. Momentum's trying to head up, and money flow's coming up pretty strong. So the 1 hour is looking pretty good for a move up here on XRP. And finally, over on algo, don't know why we always get all those numbers with algo. We're looking kind of toppy here. Looks like we could kind of round out and fall down. Stochastic's curling, RSI is pretty stagnant. Money flows in the bearish territory, pretty stagnant. Momentum's in the bearish territory, looks like it could curl up if we got some momentum though. VWAP is kind of flat, but we're in the bearish territory, so overall we're looking pretty bad on algo. Over on the 4 hour, stochastic is running up, RSI is trying to head up, money flow is in the bullish territory, and VWAP is heading up. Momentum's trying to head up too, and we're getting pretty close to a bullish cross on the momentum. So the 4 hour, if we can sustain this moves that we have, that would be a good sign for the daily for some carryover to kind of help it look a little better. The 2 hour, our money flow is generally coming down. VWAP's trying to head up. It did try to break bearish and rejected crossing, so that is a good sign. Momentum is heading up, RSI is heading up, and stochastic's recovering after taking a dip from a divergence. So overall, the 2 hour looks pretty decent here as well. The 1 hour money flow is really going up pretty strongly. VWAP's making newer highs. Stochastic's heading up and RSI is heading up. So overall, the 1 hour on algo is looking really strong. So the lower time frames look like we could give some life to that higher time frames. Thank you for watching tonight's video. I hope you have a wonderful night.